is coming in, like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store, but I fear what's still happening, all happened before. A father, a mother, a daughter, a son. The threads of their lives are all rattling undone. Something is needed to twist them as tight, like a string you might use when you're flying a kite. Tim, Timmy, Tim, 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 Tim.
Hello, dear, let's run. Come back here, little Lazarus. You've got to do your lessons. I can't have a lesson for blind kites. You can't make us. You're only our nanny. Oi, not you two, dear. Come along, Mum. Oi, come in. Good morning, lads.
Good morning, Miss Larkin. How's the gorilla been today?
Oh, very well, thank you, Bert. Willoughby! By Jove! Is that the beauteous Lark I spy upon the horizon? Oh, Admiral! Willoughby!
Morning, Admiral. How are the streets looking today?
Oh, dark cloud gathering, number 17. Storm warning's overdue.
London's byways where I doss me cap. This one's the hardest to find on a map. Cherry tree lane, as sweet as a song, but the nannies who come in, they don't stay for long. Chim, chimney, chim, chim, chiree, chim, charoo.
Katie Nanna? Katie Nanna? Those little beasts have run away from me for the last time. I've said my things through. Enough for last day. I've done this house forever. Well, Winifred, then. And mind you don't stumble on your way out. Katie Nanna, where you going? Katie Nanna's holidays in town. Dread of demented by your children's crimes. Do you really think I made another blunder? What another lie to say to Mr. Banks? George, dear, I'm feeling so bereft, dear. Another nanny, dear. Every nanny goes, we're unlucky, I suppose. We are never going to find the perfect nanny.
Nonsense! Precision and order, that's all that matters. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, all out of that's right the story of Cherry Tree Lane. Koty, the secretary has engaged 6 nannies in the last 4 months, and they've all been unqualified disasters. A nanny should govern, a nanny should rule. A nanny's a paragon who suffers no fool. A nanny's a slut, our children will gain by hands of charity in Cherry Tree Lane. Of course, George, but so take control of situations. Show your authority when interviewing staff. Besides, we can never afford someone of her caliber. Saying that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
We'd better get an answer before they make another mistake.
I would stress that...
Father,
What's that you're holding, dear?
we've written our own advertisement.
What on earth?
George, I think we should hear it.
Now, Winifred, none of your theatrics.
It won't hurt to listen.
Wanted a nanny for 2 adorable children.
Adorable? Well, that's debatable, I must say.
If you want this choice position, have a cherry disposition, rosy cheeks, no words,
That's how I put it.
play games, all sorts. You must be kind, you must be witty, very sweet and very pretty.
Well, rather ridiculous.
George, please.
Take us on outings, give us treats.
Sing songs, bring sweets. Never be cross or cruel. Never feed us castor oil or glue.
Love us as a son and daughter,
And never smell of holy water.
if you will scold and dominate us, we will never give you cause to hate us. We won't hurt your spectacles so you can't see.
Put turds in your bed or pepper in your tea.
Hurry, Nanny, many thanks, sincerely, Jane
And Michael Banks.
That's good for color for a name. Now would you please go upstairs and let me get to work?
They were only trying to help.
It won't tell anyone to make me late. Where's my hat? Hat!
Hat? George, dear, I thought you put it down here. Hat? Well, the hat can simply disappear. Oh, there it is. Does it run away?
He's brushed off with my polish.
Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all order-made.
I'm in the summer, and he's only one.
You will be the sorrow.
I shall be home at 6 o'clock sharp.
Here is the sorrow of cherry tree.
Good morning.
Yes?
I've come in answer to the advertisement.
Advertisement? We haven't placed any advertisement. Not yet.
George and Winifred Banks live here, do they not?
Mr. and Mrs. Banks live here? Yes.
And you are looking for a nanny?
Well, I suppose.
Very well then, let's see. Plays games, all sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us outings, give us treats.
Michael, it's our advertisement.
Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty. There's no objection on that score, I hope.
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, take that with respect. She handles all that sort of things. Nothing domestic has anything to do with me. And don't forget the references.
I make it a point never to give references. But I thought it was usual. A very old-fashioned idea to my mind. The best people never require them now.
Oh, I see. You will have every third Thursday evening off from 5 until 9.
The best people give every second Wednesday from 6 till late, ma'am. And that's what I shall take.
Oh, well, it's all settled then?
As long as I'm satisfied. I'll see the children now, thank you.
Of course. You'll find them very nice children. This is... oh.
Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stare. Close your mouth, Michael. We are not a codfish. Best foot forward. Spit spot.
Mrs.Brill, we have a new nanny.
She passed an interview there.
Well, I did.
Valentine. He's mine. By the look on his face, I'm not sure he would agree with you. He's just a doll, and I don't want to play with him now. Treat him like that, and he might not want to play with you either. Now, first things first, I always say the best place to put a hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it. We better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky.
Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we made our list? Your list? I'm not an item in the weekly shop, thank you very much. How did you come then? It's as if the wind just blew you here. It did. Now, stand over there. Oh, just as I thought. A noisy, troublesome, mischievous little boy.
Let me see that. A noisy, troublesome, mischievous...
Thoughtless, short-tempered, and untidy. I don't believe you. Let me see. By the time the wind has blown the weather vane around, I'll show you if I can. No matter what the circumstance, for one thing I'm renowned. My character is spit, spot, spick, and span. What about your measurement, Mary Poppins? I am practically perfect in every way. Practically
And as you can see, us Reaver's an artist of highest degree. And it's all me own work from me own memory. Come on, Mr. Parky, but it's just me pictures like it always is. There's no harm in them.
This is my park, and I say you're interfering with the public railing. I want to remove this. That is, just you watch it, that's all. Just you watch it.
Stay right where you are. I know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins.
It's nice to see you, Bert.
Well, I must say you do look swell.
How does he know you? You've only just arrived.
I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Have you met these two, Bert?
I've seen him running around chasing a kite.
It isn't a real kite.
So, what are you up to?
Mary Poppins says it's a game. It's called A Walk in the Park.
Some game. I read it eat spinach.
Come on, Bert. You're due for a break. And you promised you'd take me out when we met last. Or have you forgotten?
Of course I ain't married, but,
Oh dear, is that all you've got? Never mind then, my treat. And no one's charging for the trees in the sky, are they?
Mary Poppins, is he really coming with us?
Why shouldn't he?
Well, to start with, he's very dirty, isn't he? Father would never approve.
what's that?
You're too dirty, and we don't want to go to the sneaky park anyway.
Oh yes you do. Because when you go on a walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you've never dreamed of. And when she says it's a game, you know she's got something in mind. You can be certain of that.
That's a picture of the park, isn't it?
That's not the park. Not our park anyway. You see, the trees are much brighter green and the sky is a much different blue.
I think you'll find it's just the way I've drawn it. All that it takes is a spark. Then something, flavors a park, becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look anew, then you'll understand why it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright. Her happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dawn.
The faintest idea what
When Mary holds her hand, it feels so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've quite enough brass for all of us.
So it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Go on, you two.
Boring, just like all the nannies thinking.
Parks are good for us. It's just statues, ducks, and grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she statues?
No, he lives very far away from here.
Do you really miss him?
Oh, wouldn't you miss your father? You hardly ever saw him.
I have to think about that. That's my word!
What?
The statues have... What is gone? This plate is half empty.
Do you mean you've lost your marbles?
This is your fault, isn't it? I knew we should have trouble when you first arrived here. Now we've got a statue gone. What? Oh, Lummy!
Will you play with us again?
Of course, I'm not going anywhere.
Then we'll see you soon. Goodbye, Milius. Milius must be so lonely. Could his father ever come to stay?
Anything can happen if you let it.
How long will you stay?
We'll see.
You won't leave us running around, Poppins?
I'll stay until the wind changes. Now run along in.
Good night, Jane. Good night, Michael. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Bert.
Jean and Michael want to say goodnight.
Tell them you've given me the message.
George, please.
Oh, Daddy, we had a fantastic day. We sang with a busker, danced with a statue, and met Queen Victoria. You wouldn't have a
If
clue,
you
but...
know that, then why did you do it?
Daddy, can I have a kite, a real one?
Could you fly it?
You could always teach me.
And when would I have the time to do that?
Daddy, who was the father of Milius?
Would you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor man. All he cares about is flying kites. And his beloved astronomy, of course.
I used to love astronomy at his age. My nanny, Miss Andrew, soon beat it out of me.
I suppose we do need a nanny, George. It's out of the question to do without one.
Don't be absurd. Of course we need a nanny. All the best people have nannies. So the wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how's our tea party going on?
I'm not sure. It seems so odd to be sending out invitations to people I hardly know.
But they're people you should know. Remember, by your friends shall you be judged.
But that's the point. They're not my friends. Actually, today I heard from Clemmy Bunting. She's rehearsing a new play at the moment, and I thought I might ask.
Time for secretary. I wish you to sever all connection with that part of your life.
George, I was an actress. Lots of people might find that interesting, though you always talk as if I should be ashamed of it.
Well, it's not exactly something to be proud of. Winifred, I'm only thinking. I want people to admire you, to respect you.
I know, George, but sometimes it's hard.
It's not hard. It's your job to be Mrs. Banks.
And what is your job?
To pay for everything. What is it?
I was only going to kiss you.
Oh. All right. Are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well. But just make sure she's doing things our way, not hers. What good old rules, if you can bend them. We need a man who was disciplined and stern, with boys and girls. You don't define them. I fear that Mary Poppins has a lot to learn.
Being Mrs. Banks should be an easy role, and yet it's one that I don't seem too good at on the whole. I have a comfy home. They're not exactly my idea of being Mrs. Banks.
I still feel as if I'm dreaming.
So much fun in just one day.
When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. I'm sure neither yours is beating.
Let's hope she will stand.
Good night, Nelius.
Let's hope she will
Wheels do change, tides can turn, sink or swim, see what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just the train, so I learned them all. Chim chimney, chim chimney.
Bert, swapping the next day, are we?
Gotta keep the streets ship-shape, Admiral.
Tell me, how are things for the next 17? All plain sailing with Mary Poppins and trust.
There's a bit of rough weather on every voyage, Admiral.
Miss Lark, would those children please touch the cat and night on the yard?
What those children need, Admiral, is a touch of happiness. Willoughby. Oh, Mrs.Brill, don't make the sandwiches too early. They'll get stale before the guests arrive.
Everything's under control, ma'am.
What about the cake?
Cooling on the tray waiting to be iced.
And you're quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you were worried, I've not been exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop.
No.
No.
Well, I'll just go upstairs and check the drawing room.
I'd like to be helpful. Well, I'd like to be rich, but the good Lord thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room.
Well, she can't have me. I've got enough on my plate as it is.
She says you can tell Robertson and I what to do.
Does she? Well, why don't I go and have a smoke near the gas fix for good measure? Please, Mrs. Brill. I don't mind. Honest. All right, I'll give you one task and one task only. And so help me if you get this wrong, I'll swing before you when singing as they pull the lever. Right. What is it, Mrs. Brill? Put the icing tools next to the cake, and I'll need a bowl of hot water to warm them. I will make the icing as soon as I'm back. Icing tools, cake, hot water. I will make the icing as soon as I'm back. Now, do you think you can manage that? Is that all? For you, yes. For me, no. Once the cake's done, I have the sandwiches next, because Nanna wants them fresh. Which means I can't start them until there's no time to finish them. I swear, a slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Well, don't just stand there, Robertson and I.
Right? No.
What are you looking for?
A bowl for the water.
Michael, why don't we make the icing?
Because we don't know how?
Don't be so feeble. Get the eggs. If Mrs.Brill can do it, it can't be that hard.
I don't think Mrs. Brill would thank you.
Then she'll be guilty of great ingratitude.
don't you go and get changed? We'll clear up, won't we?
Well, I will take it and you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Open!
But it's strawberry ice.
Now you.
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
I'm not sure I can. Open!
Lime cordial.
Now off we go, you two. Michael, I know how you like to keep things neat. Jane.
Told you she was tricky.
Must we? Can't Robertson and I do it when he wakes up? He is our servant.
With that sort of attitude, you'll get through a lot of stuff before you're very old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spring. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. For example, the honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flower to the comb never tire of buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they sip, and hence they find their task is not a grind. For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Spit spot! Cups on saucers! Is this how you usually do it, Michael? Rum punch, my favorite.
Puppies, you're a miracle worker. How did you get them to do it?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The medicine?
Go down, medicine, go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way.
So, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
put the idea into his head somehow.
What an impertinent thing to say. Me putting ideas into other people's heads? Really?
and he'd have been very annoyed if she hadn't.
What about your mother?
Well, I shouldn't think I saw either of them more than once a week.
Didn't they mind?
Mind? They were glad to be with me.
Then who gives you a night? Miss Andrew?
Certainly not. There was no time for hugs and kisses and all that soft nonsense. What's the matter?
Poor Daddy.
Poor? What do you mean poor? That's what made me the man I am. Eh, Mary Poppins?
Yes, I'm afraid it did.
Well, you've seen where I work, and I have a great deal to do.
When you invest the bank's money, what are you looking for, Daddy? A good man or a good idea?
Well, I suppose it's a good idea. But a good man is much better, and much more valuable.
Come along, children.
Mr. Von Huston, I have considered your arguments, but I'm afraid my answer is no.
So you don't recognize a good idea?
Perhaps not, but I recognize a good man when I see him.
You will regret this.
A man with dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you know that at first glance deserves a chance. Now, Miss Northbrook, when exactly could the factory open?
Thank you, sir. You won't regret it.
There's that horrible old woman.
Don't point. For your information, she is not in the least horrible.
But she's just a bundle of rags.
When will you learn to look past what you see? Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes in her own special way to the people she calls.
Come by my paths full of flowers.
You don't say. Well, here she comes now, you can tell her yourself.
Isn't that Miss Logstock Willoughby?
Don't interrupt when someone's barking. You were saying? Really? Well, if she keeps running off like that, you might have to put her on a lead. Willoughby! Willoughby! Oh, look, here she comes now. Oh, Willoughby! It's all right, Mummy's here.
No. Sometimes you think he could talk. But can Willoughby really talk?
Of course he can. Getting him to stop is the problem.
Then how do you speak dog?
How do you think? Master the grammar
Practice when you can.
and avoid mongrels.
Far too much slang.
Now, I can't stand around here all day talking shop.
Talking shop? What's a silly expression?
There's nothing silly about it in the least.
What do you buy in a talking shop?
Conversations, of course.
Well, I've never seen a talking shop.
There is only one, and it belongs to Mrs. Corry.
Who's Mrs. Corry?
Who's Mrs. Corry? Mrs. Corry is older than anyone in the world. She talked to William before he went conquering, to Vladimir before he went impaling, and to Alexander when he wasn't so great.
They'll have to call it her shop in the park.
There is no shop in the park.
Remember, anything can happen if you let it.
I've been having conversations.
Good day, Mrs. Corry.
Well. Mary Poppins with Jane and Michael Banks.
How does she know us?
And how is poor little Georgie?
Who?
Georgie Banks, your father. He used to give his nanny the slip and come here into my shop in secret.
But it can't have been the same George Banks. That would have been 40 years ago, and no one can remember back that far.
Listen, dearie, I remember everything. I remember George used to love my gingerbread. I wonder if Annie have any left today.
Annie, what lively? Yes, Mother.
There you are, gingerbread pieces with the gingerbread stars. Georgie always saved his stars. Now, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you today?
Well, I did want an ounce of conversations.
Oh, I'm out of conversations and right out of birds, too. You see, I've had a lot of chatterboxes in here today. But I do have some letters and a little bit of that chat. An ounce, you say? That'll be 15 letters. Take your pick.
Jane, you could use 7.
I've got a D, G, R, U, C, L, and I.
Your turn, Michael. 7 more.
And I have an A, an F, an S, E, T, O, and P.
And I'll choose an X. Now, what words can we make with these?
Well, I see dog and cat. That's 9.
Lepidopterus, that's 11. Almost there.
Those don't count. You made them up. Where do you think birds came from in the first place? Somebody has to make them up.
You know, we can always use the same letter more than once. Now, let's see. Supercalifragilistic expialidocious.
That's a word.
Of course it's a word, and unless I'm very much mistaken, I think it's going to prove a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through length expialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic expialidocious. It can mean exactly what you want it to. When Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
keep swinging.
Right. Put the steps there. And stand back. You're not on near that face. No one else but me neither. That is a heirloom. And while I do this, stay totally immobile. Immobile. Do not move a muscle. Muscle. Do not breathe. Do you hear me?
Seems he's went to our chief finders. They gave him the money and he's turned it into a gold mine.
Well, they can't expect you to get it back every time.
Can't they? It's exactly what they expect.
Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud,
that's more than enough! Go to your room! I don't care what you just upstairs! Now! Where's my briefcase? What's here? Michael? Jane? Do you give it to me? Must I put this kid? You are their mother. Why can't you do something?
Well, I can try not shouting for a start.
Mary Poppins, you are here to teach the children manners. And just look at them. They're a pair of little savages. If I had my way, you'd be out of this house by
George! You're tired. Mary Poppins, don't bring the children down tonight. Mr. Banks is quite exhausted. Perhaps you could keep them occupied.
I hope you haven't forgotten, Mom. Tonight's my evening out. What?
Oh dear, I had forgotten. I suppose the best people wouldn't ask you to change your plans.
No, Mom, they wouldn't.
I thought not. That's not fair. Daddy loses his temper and worshipped up in the nursery. Daddy's mean and rotten, and I hate him! Jane, take that back this instant. I won't have you criticize your father.
Why not? He criticizes you. Last week he said you can neither use nor ornaments.
How dare you?
I heard him insulting you.
Sometimes people say things they don't mean. Mary Poppins, take the children upstairs, please. George?
What is it now?
I thought you might like to talk about it.
What would be the...
Well, perhaps I can help.
Don't be ridiculous.
George, I'm serious. If you have troubles, I'd like to share them.
Don't worry. You will. The fact is, I've been suspended. Without salary, until they decide what to do.
Twists and turns, ups and downs. One moment smiles, next moment frowns. But bad-tempered faces had better change quick, because if they don't, the face just might stick. Chim chimney, chim chim, cherry chim chim,
play with.
I don't want to. They're boring.
They might say the same about you.
Why does Daddy get so cross?
Fathers are supposed to look after their children, not yell at them all the time.
Maybe. But have you thought about who looks after the fathers when things go wrong?
The mothers, I suppose?
Not the children. Wouldn't that be rather upside down?
Oh, some families are upside down. For a while, at least.
I don't want to be in an upside down family. I wish I could just run away.
Why don't you? Someone might adopt you.
But you'd miss me.
No, I wouldn't, and I can have all your toys.
No, you could not.
Yes, I could, my jolly well would.
Give that to me. Now look what you've done.
That's no way to treat Valentine. What's he ever done to you?
He's a doll, silly. He can't have done anything.
That's all. Now off to bed, you two. At once.
But we haven't had our milk.
No buts. And no milk either. If you can't be good, you might as well be sorry.
I wish you'd just leave us alone.
Be careful what you wish for. Poor Valentine. Why don't you go inside and make yourself presentable?
Well, I'm older to bed and you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things,
Your information
is faulty. Playing the game, taking your time. Some children lose, some children learn. Treat the toys nicely and maybe they'll treat you the same. Playing the game. Are you feeling any better, Valentine?
Much better. Thank you.
Tempers afraid, tempers are lost. Nobody stops to think of the cost.
But they tore my arm. Again.
Oh dear. Children who lose their temper will lose everything else in the end.
They're not playing the game.
He's on pillow and curl. Between pavement and stars is the chimney sweep's world, where there's hardly no day, nor hardly no night. There's things off in shadows, head halfways in light. On the rooftops of London. Ooh, what a sight!
So, you're a sweep now, are you?
Best view in the world, eh? And who gets to see it? The birds, the stars, and the chimney sweeps. Nothing to beat it, eh? Now as the ladder of life has been strung, you may think a sweep's on the bottom as dry. Though I spent me time in the ashes and smoke, in this so wide world there's no happier bloke. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney, is always as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney, good luck will rub off when he shakes hands with you. Or blow me a kiss, Bert, and that's the key too. So you're going then?
The wind's changed.
But they're good kids, Barry.
Would I be bothering with them if they weren't? But I can't help them if they won't let me. And there's no one so hard to teach as a child who knows everything.
So?
So they've got to do the next bit on their own. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. When you're with the sweep, you're in glad company. Goodbye, Bert.
Chim, 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 cherry. When you're with the sweep, you're in glad company. Nowhere is there a more happier crew than them's what sings chim, chim, cherry, chim, cheroo. Chim, chimney, chim, chim, cherry.
Cheerio, Bert. Keep an eye on them for me.
But she can't have left us.
Oh, yes, she can. And she's taken all of our toys.
What does the note say?
What in heaven are you two doing out here? Where's Mary Poppins?
Gone.
Oh. Well, if God doesn't take the bloomin' biscuits.
Mrs.Brill, what does au revoir mean?
Why?
Because that's what she's written on the note. Dear Jane and Michael, keep playing the game.